And he has this fantastic YouTube channel called Translation Tales.
Yes. I'm a subscriber. He's brilliant at combining expert advice with this healthy dose of humor.
Oh, totally.
And he really emphasizes, the importance of understanding cultural context when it comes to language, especially for something like flirting.
Exactly. So his Translation Tales channel, if you haven't checked it out, is a gold mine if you want to, avoid making embarrassing blunders.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to make a good impression.
For sure.
Okay, so let's dive in. We're starting with those languages known for their romance. French, Italian, Spanish.
The classics.
They sound so smooth,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently even a small slip-up can lead to disaster.
Oh, it's true. Like, take French, for instance. You might want to tell someone they have beautiful eyes by saying, "Tu as de beaux yeux."
It sounds lovely.
It does, right? But if you accidentally say, "Tu as de gros yeux,"
Uh-oh.
you've gone from complimenting their eyes to commenting on their size, like they're big.
Wow, so even with these romantic languages, precision is key.
Absolutely.
And what about Italian? It's considered the language of love, all sweet and charming, like a scoop of gelato, right?
That's the stereotype, yes. But imagine trying to tell someone they're an angel.
Right.
Say un angelo caduto dal cielo.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. But a slight mispronunciation, and suddenly you're comparing them to an anchovy instead.
An anchovy.
Say un acciuga caduto dal cielo.
Instead of an angel.
Talk about a mood killer.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it also makes me wonder, are there any safer approaches to complimenting someone in these languages? I mean, how do you avoid accidentally insulting someone while trying to be charming?
That's a great question. One tip that Wordrika gives is to focus on compliments that are less open to misinterpretation. So instead of commenting on physical attributes, maybe try complimenting something about their personality or something they're wearing,
That makes sense. It seems like focusing on less subjective qualities might be a good strategy when you're navigating a new language.
Exactly, and it also demonstrates a genuine interest in getting to know the person beyond just their appearance.
Okay, so we've covered the potential pitfalls of romantic European languages. What about flirting in Asia? Are there any specific cultural nuances we should be aware of?
Definitely. Asian languages often have a different approach to expressing romantic interest. In Japanese, for example, telling someone, "Kimi wa watashi no tayude," means "you are my sunshine."
Oh,
Very poetic.
that does sound sweet. I'm curious, though, where's the potential for disaster with this one?
Well, the word tichu, which means sunshine, sounds very similar to taiyaki, which is a fish-shaped pastry.
Oh, no.
So if you accidentally swap those words instead of calling them your sunshine, you've just called them your tuna.
Oh, no. I can see how that could lead to some confused looks.
Yeah.
So food metaphors are common, but context and pronunciation are absolutely crucial. Are there any other examples where things could go hilariously wrong?
Absolutely. In Mandarin, you might try to woo someone by saying, "Hai de shin," which translates to "you've stolen my heart." A classic.
Very smooth.
But
But I have a feeling there's a but coming.
there is. If you accidentally say, "Hu hashin," instead you're not talking about stolen hearts anymore, you're accusing them of stealing your kidney.
Wait, what? That escalated quickly, from romance to organ theft.
Right.
It seems like mastered pronunciation is essential.
It is, and Orderica provides some great tips on his channel for improving pronunciation. He emphasizes the importance of listening carefully to native speakers and practicing those sounds that might be unfamiliar to you.
That makes sense. So maybe before declaring your undying love in another language, it's worth brushing up on those tricky sounds. But what happens when things do go wrong? Is it all doomed, or can you recover from a linguistic mishap?
Well, I think Salvador Orica would say that even blunders can be opportunities for connection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has a whole section on his YouTube channel dedicated to embracing those awkward moments.
I love that.
He argues that humor is a universal language, and laughing together even at a mistake can actually break the ice.
So a little self-deprecating humor can go a long way.
Exactly.
I like that it takes the pressure off having to be perfectly fluent.
Exactly. Orderica's philosophy is all about being comfortable with making mistakes.
Yeah.
He sees language learning as an ongoing journey, not a destination.
It's about the experience, not just the outcome. That's a refreshing perspective. But I'm also thinking about all those real-life flirting fails we talked about earlier. The Korean asthma incident, the German brain sprint, the Spanish meltdown.
Oh, yeah.
Those sound pretty cringeworthy.
They are, but they're also a reminder that we're all human and we all make mistakes, especially when we're trying to impress someone.
Yeah.
Orderica uses these anecdotes to highlight the importance of intention over perfection.
So even if you fumble with the words, as long as your intentions are good, you're still in the game.
Precisely. And it goes back to what we were discussing earlier about focusing on genuine connection.
Okay.
A sincere smile, a kind gesture. Those things can transcend language barriers.
That makes me think about nonverbal communication.
Yes,
How important is body language when you're flirting in a different culture?
it's crucial.
Yeah,
Orderica dedicates a whole series on his channel to decoding body language around the world.
I bet.
He points out that what might be seen as flirty in one culture could be completely misinterpreted in another.
So like a wink might not be universally appreciated.
Exactly. In some cultures, direct eye contact is seen as confident and engaging, while in others it can be perceived as aggressive or disrespectful.
Oh, wow.
It all depends on the cultural context.
This is all so fascinating. I'm starting to see how much more there is to flirting than just knowing a few catchy phrases.
Right.
It's like a whole cultural dance.
It really is. And Orderica provides some great strategies for navigating this dance successfully.
Yeah.
He talks about the importance of observing and mirroring the other person's body language to build rapport and create a sense of connection.
That's a great tip. It seems like being observant and adaptable are key skills in this cross-cultural flirting game.
Absolutely. And Orderica emphasizes that a little bit of cultural awareness can go a long way.
Okay.
He encourages people to do some research about the specific customs and norms of the culture they're interacting with.
So before you travel, maybe spend some time watching Orderica's videos or reading about the local dating etiquette.
Exactly. It shows respect for the culture and demonstrates a willingness to learn.
Right.
And it can help you avoid those awkward moments that could potentially sabotage your chances of making a connection.
All this talk about cultural differences makes me wonder, are there any universal flirting techniques that work regardless of language or background? Are there any common threads that connect us all when it comes to attraction?
That's a great question. And I think Salvador Orderica would say that while the specific expressions of flirting might vary, there are certain fundamental human qualities that are universally appealing.
Like what?
Well, things like kindness, genuine interest in the other person, a sense of humor, and of course, confidence.
Okay, so maybe instead of focusing on mastering cheesy pickup lines in different languages, we should be focusing on cultivating those core qualities that make us attractive as individuals.
Exactly. Orderica's message is all about authenticity.
I love that.
Be yourself, be
Right.
respectful, be curious, and most importantly, have fun.
So even if you don't speak the language fluently, you can still communicate your interest and make a connection through genuine human interaction.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe those linguistic mishaps will become funny stories you can share later,
That's true.
creating even stronger bonds. So, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into the world of flirting across cultures, I think the main takeaway is this: embrace the adventure.
Yes.
Don't let language barriers intimidate you.
And remember, Salvador Orderica's Translation Tales YouTube channel is a fantastic resource for anyone wanting to delve deeper into the nuances of cross-cultural communication.
We'll be back in a moment to explore some of Orderica's specific tips and strategies for successful cross-cultural flirting. All right, we're back and ready to unpack some more of Salvador Orderica's advice for successful cross-cultural flirting. I'm really intrigued by this idea of cultural intelligence that he talked about.
Yeah, it's such a valuable concept, and it applies to so much more than just flirting. Orderica defines cultural intelligence as the ability to navigate different cultural contexts effectively. So it's not just about knowing the language. It's about understanding the unspoken rules,
Yes.
the nuances of communication, how to behave in a way that's both respectful and engaging.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about being adaptable, observant, and willing to step outside your comfort zone to truly connect with someone from a different background.
Makes a lot of sense. But how do you actually develop this cultural intelligence? Are there any practical steps people can take?
Well, one of the most fundamental things, but often overlooked, Orderica says, is simply being a good listener.
I can see how that's important.
Yeah.
We often get so caught up in our own nerves or what we want to say next that we forget to really listen to the other person.
It's true, and active listening goes beyond just hearing the words. It's about paying attention to tone of voice, body language, facial expressions,
Oh, yeah.
all those subtle cues that convey meaning beyond just the spoken word.
So it's about reading between the lines, trying to understand the subtext of what's being communicated.
Exactly, and it's also about asking questions, showing genuine interest in the other person's culture and perspective. Curiosity is key. It demonstrates that you're not just trying to impress them with your knowledge, but that you genuinely value learning from them.
That's a great point. It shifts the focus from trying to perform to actually connecting with the other person.
Yeah.
I bet that makes a huge difference in how you come across.
Absolutely. And Orderica also emphasizes the importance of self-awareness. We all have our own cultural biases, whether we realize it or not.
Right. We tend to view the world through the lens of our own cultural experiences.
Exactly. So being aware of those biases and being willing to challenge them when we encounter something different is crucial for developing cultural intelligence.
It's about being open-minded and recognizing that there are multiple ways of seeing and interacting with the world.
Precisely. And Orderica reminds us that making mistakes is part of the learning process.
Of course.
He encourages people to embrace those awkward moments and learn from them, rather than letting them discourage them from engaging with other cultures.
I love that. It
Yeah.
takes the pressure off having to be perfect and allows us to be more playful and experimental in our interactions.
Exactly. And it goes back to the importance of humor.
Yes.
Being able to laugh at yourself, especially when you make a mistake, is a universally appealing quality. It shows that you're confident, approachable, and not afraid to be vulnerable.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the fascinating world of flirting across languages, I think the key takeaway is this. It's an adventure.
Absolutely.
It's about embracing the unknown, being open to new experiences, and approaching it all with a sense of curiosity and humor.
Well said. And remember, even if your attempt at flirting in another language doesn't lead to a romantic connection,
Right.
you'll still gain valuable insights, broaden your perspective, and maybe even walk away with a funny story to tell.
That's right. So next time you find yourself drawn to someone who speaks a different language, don't let fear or uncertainty hold you back. Take a chance, be yourself, and remember the most important thing is to have fun and enjoy the journey. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.